From the Tennessee Valley Weather Center, this is your evening weather update.
It's been yet another hot day across the Tennessee Valley. On this Friday, we still have our excessive heat warnings in place across much of the area through 8 p.m. this evening, and then they are replaced with a heat advisory for tomorrow because we have one more day with these excessive heat index values, and then we finally get some relief in here, get a little bit of relief in a few spots tomorrow afternoon with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around. But we've been well up into the 90s again today. A few locations like the Muscle Shoals Airport this afternoon officially hit 100 degrees, and many of the locations that were struggling to hit the upper 90s for daytime highs during Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday did it this afternoon. So for many of us, this has been the warmest day this week, but we're about to start backing out of the heat. We have just a little longer to get through. Mostly clear skies out there late this afternoon on the Arctic Air Skycam network. Just a few of those puffy cumulus clouds, but they've been growing a little taller here and there, and that's a sign that the upper air heat ridge is starting to break down, and it will continue to do so as we head through the weekend. You can see showers and thunderstorms popping off to our north in the Ohio Valley back into the mid-Mississippi Valley and the Ozarks. That's also a sign that the upper heat ridge is starting to weaken, and that frontal boundary will sag southward the next few days, increasing our chances of scattered showers and thunderstorms. But for this evening, not the case. We're quiet. If you're headed toward the high school football games this evening, weather looking quiet out there. Now, a few of the games have delayed to the 7:30, 7:45 time frame, and this is the 7 p.m. forecast here, so it may be more like upper 80s for kickoff time for some of these high school football games, but mostly clear skies, and that allows us to drop into the low to mid 80s by fourth quarter here during the 9 and 10 o'clock hours. So we'll get a little bit cooler after sunset, as you would naturally expect, but still going to be muggy around. You're going to have to stay hydrated, make a run for the concession stand and get a Gatorade or a bottle of water this evening. Make sure you stay hydrated. The coaches will make sure that the players and the cheerleaders and such stay hydrated as well out there on the field this evening. Mostly clear skies going into the evening, dropping out of the 90s into the 80s after sunset, mid 70s for morning lows as we head toward daybreak with mostly clear skies to start the day. We get back on up into the 90s again by midday in the afternoon. Futurecast probably overdoing it over the shoals, but I can't rule out near the triple digits for one more day in northwest Alabama. But notice the difference this time. A few pop-up showers and thunderstorms being possible into the afternoon and the evening hours moving in from the north. Don't pay attention to the specific place Futurecast shows these happening. They could be anywhere over southern middle Tennessee or northwest Alabama in the afternoon and evening. Main time frame from that is roughly from around 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon until roughly around 8 or 9 in the evening. 1 or 2 of the storms could actually be strong with some gusty winds, so I can't completely rule out a severe thunderstorm warning tomorrow afternoon and evening. No big severe weather threat. Just pay attention to the weather. If a storm comes up, just head inside away from windows and everything will be fine. One more hot day, and then the cold front moves into the area. We start backing off the heat with highs back into the 80s. That's also going to increase scattered shower and thunderstorm chances for a Sunday. I think the more widespread rain, and it's still scattered in nature, but the more widespread rain chances maybe the first half of Sunday, but scattered showers and thunderstorms still possible in the Sunday afternoon, Sunday night across the area. A few more showers and thunderstorms possible Monday into Tuesday as well, as that frontal boundary hangs near the southeast, and with the upper ridge broken down, we don't have the suppression in the atmosphere. We allow more lift in the atmosphere for daily storms to start cranking up during the midday and afternoon hours each day. So one more hot day to talk about on Saturday, and then we start getting highs back into the 80s, maybe the lower 80s by Wednesday and Thursday, and I can't rule out over southern middle Tennessee by Thursday. Some folks may only get to 78 or 79 for daytime highs as cooler and drier air filters into the area with the upper level trough moving through. Rain chances still scattered in nature, but they are on the way up for the weekend into the first part of next week, so that's some heat relief as well across the area. We are watching the tropics very carefully. We have a few systems we're watching. Tropical storm Franklin out here still in the western Atlantic, churning Here is the latest advisory on that. Maximum sustained winds still holding at 50 miles per hour, moving east-northeast at 6, but it will turn northward this weekend and start intensifying as it does, likely to become a significant hurricane as it moves just to the west of Bermuda into early next week. That will probably throw some rough surf on the eastern seaboard, but no direct hit to the United States expected as it stays offshore. What we are watching for the possibility of a United States impact is this developing disturbance here off the Yucatan Peninsula. You see the swirl in the cloud covers in the clouds developing now with thunderstorms increasing. That may help to organize things tonight into the weekend. And there's a high probability this becomes a tropical depression, a tropical storm, maybe even stronger than that as it moves up through the Northwest Caribbean into the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico through the weekend into early next week. Still not sure what kind of intensity we're talking about, so that's uncertain. The exact specific track and where the impacts will be uncertain as well, but the early indications are that this would likely be the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico, so especially anybody from around Pensacola, Florida, on around to the west coast of Florida around Fort Myers needs to watch this very carefully, but we'll watch for track changes. As of now, I don't expect any direct impacts to the Tennessee Valley, but we'll watch it carefully. It's very early in development. Can't rule out some track changes, but for now, our local area doesn't look to have any direct impacts from this. But as always, we'll watch things carefully. Other systems out into the Atlantic, our two here on the western side, recurving northward into the open Atlantic, and another one with possibility of development coming off the west coast of Africa. You expect this as we head out of August into early September. We are heading closer and closer toward the heart of the Atlantic hurricane season. Back closer to home here this evening, mostly clear skies dropping out of the 90s into the 80s after sunset, and then into the mid 70s overnight for your forecast lows. And then we're back up into the mid to upper 90s once again tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, over southern middle Tennessee, partly sunny skies. A few widely scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms possible. Not everybody gets one, please understand that, but a few communities probably will. And where you do get a storm, it may have some gusty winds. So if you see a storm come up, get inside away from windows until it passes so you're okay from the wind, you're okay from the lightning, and everything will be just fine. More of the same in northwest Alabama. One or two communities getting one of those pop-up strong thunderstorms. Otherwise, partly sunny and highs here also into the middle 90s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, one more hot day, and then slightly better chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms from Monday into the middle of the week. We are watching the Gulf and that disturbance we talked about. However, as of how it looks right now, not expecting local impacts. I just know that folks that live up here in the Tennessee Valley have interest on the northern Gulf Coast. They have family members down there. So because of that, we are watching the Gulf carefully. Highs by the middle of the week down into the lower 80s. So we may be talking about 78, 79 here and there. By Thursday, no runaway heat all the way through the latter part of next week. There's the latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.